أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. الله الكبير. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الله الكبير. Again, we are grateful to God for giving us this opportunity, and again, this is not by accident. This is by divine design and providence that we are here and we're still alive today. And so God has blessed us with this extra time so we can get closer to Him and become a better servant of God. And so that's something that should be grateful to today and appreciative of His blessings and His honor that He bestowed upon us. This is a huge blessing. And so we should make sure that we take advantage of this opportunity. And this is not something to be taken for granted. It's something that we have honored with and blessed with, and so we have another chance. And so these chances, we cannot miss these chances, and we should take these chances and get closer to our Creator. And that's the only way that we can succeed, and we can have a hereafter full of bliss and be in the company of God. So that's the most important thing that we can achieve in this worldly life. Again, I want to mention this again and stress this fact that gratefulness and appreciativeness is a godlike quality, and we should follow the path of God and repay in kind, and make sure that we are also grateful to the source of everything that God has blessed us with, and that source is only God and God alone and no one else. And so we should remember that. Okay, so today what I wanted to discuss with you is that we read chapter 2 last time, and the incident that God is describing in His presence, and that's basically the beginning of our being here, and how we ended up in this universe. And God is telling us that there was a discussion. There was a discussion that God had with the angels, and He commanded the angels to honor Adam. Adam was God's creation, and he was endowed with certain qualities, and those qualities were not given to the angels. And so these qualities that Adam had was something that they should have honored this creation of God. And and then God is telling us that there was basically a mass rebellion all of a sudden. Are you sure you're going to do this? Okay. But there is a deeper philosophical situation that a lot of people miss, is that freedom of expression and freedom of speech is so dear to God that He actually allows that. So any people or any person who wants to muffle the sound of opposition, okay, who wants to muffle and make a sound to be quiet, that people cannot express their opinion, that people cannot say what they think or how they think, okay, is something which is exactly opposite and against God's system. Okay. God could have said, how dare you asking me this? But He didn't. He says, I know something you do not know. Okay. So the test came. The test was that Adam had the ability to learn this thing by God's design, and he learned all the names. What are these names? Who cares? It doesn't matter. There was certain knowledge that was only Adam could have grasped, because that's how Adam was designed by God. Okay? And so, and then he taught them all the names and present to angels. Say, okay, inform me of these names if you're truthful. Okay, so if you think that you're right about this whole situation, okay, that this guy is going to shed blood and all kinds of stuff, okay, and we are glorifying you and praising you all the time, and so give me these names if you're truthful. If you think that your opinion is the truth, then you go ahead and inform me of these names. And immediately they say, we can't. We only know what you taught us. Again, another philosophical point in there that people miss. Oh, we should go to this school to learn things. Why don't they let us go to MIT? Why don't they let us do this and this and this? Okay? The stuff that they taught at MIT 10 years ago is obsolete. It's not worth anything. The knowledge that comes from God is eternal. Okay? We are trained to think that way. Satan knows that, obviously, as we read and what happened. Okay? And so we go through this exercise and we miss the point. We want to be angels, although we were honored by angels, we're supposed to be honored by angels. You see, our whole lifestyle is upside down. We do not understand things, or we don't want to understand things. We think that somehow ignorance is superior to knowledge. We don't come to Jummah prayers. We go try to get knowledge from someplace else. The news, Facebook, this and that, the others. Okay. That's not where the knowledge is. The knowledge is what comes from God. And so they say, we don't know except what you taught us. And then, Adam, here you go, Adam, now you tell them the names. And when he tells them the names, then God says, didn't I tell you? I know the secrets that you guys don't know. Can you imagine the gentleness of God? Okay. Then all of them honored Adam, except one guy who was still running around, doubting and disputing and everything. Okay. So no, I'm not going to do this. I'm still not going to do this. I'm not convinced of your proof. So we read in the Quran that those who reject God's proofs. Okay. So we have shown many, many, many proofs. Why 9 is supposed to have 127? So, well, it really doesn't matter if it's 127 or 129. We don't care. That's rejection of God's proof. That's a satanic trait. Okay. Satan didn't like it. Satan did not like it, like the fact that he knew the names, but he didn't know. Okay. That when it comes, jealousy comes into the equation. All of these bad things come into the equation because they do not believe that all of this is coming from God. Until we realize that, we are going to have a life which is a boring life. It's going to be a bad life. We are going to be tired of this life. We are not going to enjoy this life. And then in the hereafter, we are going to even suffer more. And God is telling us that the joy that you have is because of the knowledge that I'm giving you. And then in the first chapter, that was revealed, he said that he teaches man what he does not know. Okay. And that is amazing. That means that that knowledge that you have, which is eternal, is coming from God. Okay? This was understood. This was understood with those paradigms and those models and those situations that God is describing in the Quran for us. That said, these are these parables or these examples that I'm bringing for you, that you may believe. Okay. All of those things were understood by those early generations. And they lived many, many thousands of years ago, but they still understood it. And we are still here, so many thousands of years later, and we're still having problems with this. Okay? So, if we still have problems with it, our life is going to be a boring life. It's not going to be a happy life. It's going to be a life of sadness because, as I said, we are rejecting God's proofs. So look and see what happened to Iblis. Okay. Wasn't enough for him that God was proving to him that this is the way to do it. Okay. And everyone has to go along with that. Once the proof comes to us, we have to gravitate towards the proof and towards the truth. And we have no other option. Obviously, we do have options, okay? As I said, God allows these things. So then he even went further, and he allowed these people to thrive. So the liars and the cheaters and the embezzlers and the adulterers and all of those guys, they're thriving. They lie left and right, and it's okay somehow. They cheat, and it's okay. They embezzle, and it's okay. So he allows that. But as I said, see, that's called freedom. And it is so dear to God. And any people or any person that takes that away from people, that person or that group of people are going to suffer. They're not going to succeed. If we have not understood this by now, we are in deep trouble. We have to wake up and realize that the only way to do it is to go along with God's commandments, because that's good for us. He allows us to have doubts in this and in the other, just like the angels did. Not all the angels were fired. Okay? Once they saw the proof and the truth, they gravitated towards it. They didn't have any problems with it. So God has done that for us. And so when we see the proof and the truth, we have to gravitate towards that point that God is showing to us, that this is the place, look at it. But again, as I said, again, we went through those verses so many times, okay, in the Quran. But there are points in there, and there are philosophical situations that God is describing to us that we have to pay more attention. Right? And again, as I said, he allows it because that's his system. He allows dissension, that's his system. He listens to different opinions, that's his system. Right? People who know things, they don't want to even hear somebody else's opinion. They don't even look your way. They are so conceited and so proud and ignorant of the fact that you have to give other people a chance. Maybe they have some idea that you could use, that you did not look the right way. Okay? But he is God. Okay? And he knows because he's the creator. Okay? And then these creatures are coming in there and questioning his wisdom and you know his way that he is ruling the universe and running the universe. Okay, why do you do it this way and don't do it? This guy's no good. Okay, well, I mean, God knows that. Okay, can you imagine that? Okay, this guy shed blood and this and the others. Okay, like as though God doesn't know that. He does. Okay, but there are certain qualities that Adam had that the rest of them didn't have it. So that became a test for the angels. And God is saying that except one, everybody else embrace the truth and embrace the proof. And so we have to do it today. Okay, we cannot run away from this. In chapter 74, unfortunately, it says they are running away from this like a donkey who's running away from a lion. That's exactly what's happening. They don't want to even hear it. He's gotten to that point. We don't want to even hear this. Okay. So I'll stop here and we'll finish this unit. Allahu Kabir.